Yo, sorry, I had the music still going. What's up?
Your stream like open. It's fine. Kind of loud, but it's fine.
Anyway, how's it going, man? How you doing?
Been chilling
Mm-hmm.
and gaming.
Nice. Good to hear. Chilling and gaming.
Yeah.
Fun activities.
Yeah, I need to do like some transport homework that they gave me for like next tomorrow, but I have like half done, so it's fine.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And what are we going over today?
Um, Today I'm finally tackling Fox Falco after like 6 years.
Okay.
I've I've been playing like the same game plan I built watching a Kalindi video when I was like 15.
And you're like, worked pretty well.
I mean, it's got to be till here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, and like what things are you thinking about in the matchup, or like what's going on?
Um, I just like try to chase a Falco, which is like super wrong. I feel like I chase
Mm-hmm.
them like a happy puppy. It's so bad, but like I get them to the ledge and then I look for Kims and then I play like a Foxito. That's a plan.
Interesting. Okay.
And then
What?
I was watching like topography class because I know everything I need to do in that class, so I just like sit down and analyze. I was watching like I took a lot of ideas from left end and like he just backers a lot and jumps to the platforms, and that's pretty interesting to me because like I'm really bad at platforms, like looking at the screen and being on platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he bears a lot. I feel like bear range is super OP in this matchup because bear is too good.
Dare or
Um,
bear? Sorry.
Back air.
Back air? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it pretty much. I have a lot of trouble like getting Falco to swing most of the time, and then I just feel like kind of stuck in that way because I feel like really lost in the matchup because like punish game is like super easy because South American moment. uh, uh, Getting reversal suck, but like it's a skill issue most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like all like the neutral nuance of like Falco shooting like three lasers and me having to crouch and running power shield is super tough for me. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll take a look and then we'll talk about it.
Alright, sick.
You can see the stream, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Have the stream open too. Read chat.
Nice. Hmm. Hmm. Let's go punish game.
Woo! Oh,
Oh.
it would have been nasty though.
Okay. So once you get the hit, you definitely seem like you know what you're doing. And that's
Yeah.
not, and I remember that from playing you. That's not a problem for you.
Yeah, I mean, the also like the tough part of like getting good for Falcon for me is that the Falcon player right now doesn't main Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So like,
doesn't look like they
yeah,
do.
and it's the best Falcon practice I can get because like
Mm-hmm.
no Falcons exist here, so it's the same guy that I got to play Falcon for, the same person.
He's icy. The guy's he has like six hats on.
Yeah, it's crazy. The goat.
um.
Oh, what did I dash back?
Wait, that's crazy. Gio said something in chat, and I was literally about to talk about this. That like, I think that like you should. So basically, just from watching it so far, I
Mhm.
think you should focus more of your practice towards playing grounded. And it's not necessarily because the grounded play is like everything. It's
Mhm.
that like you're like it's like you're like avoiding practicing important parts of the matchup by winning with other parts. Uh,
Gotcha.
and I think that in this matchup is like really really common. Uh, where like I think it's really easy, especially if people like aren't as good at lasering and stuff like that, to kind or like stalemating in general with Falco, is that it's really easy to kind of just like full hop around, and like
Mhm.
you can kind of just do the like a thing where you're just sort of like subconsciously spacing Falco out, where you're like, oh, I'm faster than him, so it's like it's okay that like I can just like react to whatever he does, basically playing it like the Puff matchup, right? Where you just kind of like
Okay.
react to anything he does, and then you full hop or you dash back. And I think that those are like important parts of the matchup, but getting the like raw experience of like take laser dash dance or just take laser dash in general. There's just like a lot of situations that can come out of take laser dash in. Like you can do like take laser dash in full hop, take laser dash in short hop, take laser dash in shield. That's like a really big one. It's the take laser dash in shield. Or you can do take laser dash in JC shine and stuff like that. I think that like crouching the lasers and like all that stuff is kind
Mhm.
of like a layer beyond that. Like
Okay.
I think you could beat every Falco in the world without being able to CC lasers as like part of your game plan, like currently. And I think it's like an advanced part of the matchup that will become increasingly relevant as people just keep getting better and better and better. But like
Mhm.
it's like a it's like a deep inner layer of the matchup. It's not really like what you need to focus on. But I think
Gotcha.
like dashing in out of the lasers is really good. I think that it'll help you. I think that it'll help you like gain more experience because you're having like a tough time finding really good Falco practice. Uh,
Mhm.
but then like let me go back a little bit. Let me just start it over actually. So like okay, so this was good where you're like you do the take laser dash in, right? This is
Mhm.
like fine. And then you do a wave dash back. And then you go in, and it's like, okay, that's fine. And then you're doing this. This is one that I don't like. Okay. So doing this, dash dance, take laser, full hop, dash back, take laser, shield, full hop. These are all just actions that where you'll get a free opening on Falco if they do something wrong. They're
Okay.
not actually like positions where you like can actually win a mix up. So I think like basically like while there's nothing wrong with doing this in like a set where you're trying to win, while you're trying to just improve and you're playing
Mhm.
against someone who's not even a Falco main, like I think you should be playing way more aggressive mix-ups off of the lasers. Like that's the piece of the matchup that you need to like get a bunch of experience in from
Okay.
just looking at it. Is like you can kind of just camp, and then as soon as they start shooting lasers, then like try to figure out some kind of like approach on that. Because then eventually, like you know, you have the ability to play safe or go in on the laser, which is even if you end up camping the whole time, having the ability to go in is really solid. Like it just changes the way the Falco like thinks about it if they know you're really
Okay.
experienced in like the aggressive like scramble. So I think like you're down to do a lot of these like laser get away and then full hop and then kind of like avoid them or like these types of like double jump things.
Mhm.
Well, like I said, that's just kind of like you know how to do that already.
Yeah.
You're not really
I
like gaining a ton by practicing that against this person.
yeah. I see.
Whereas what I want to do is I want to talk about why you're getting messed up for laser dash in and doing it wrong, but I haven't really had a lot of opportunities to do that yet. Because that's the thing is like, well, I mean, obviously it's all dependent on skill, like, but
Mhm.
like the how should I say? It's like the aggressive mix-ups stay good no matter how good the Falco gets, whereas like the full hops get like less useful the better the Falco gets
Okay.
because they'll just be able to play around it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go through faster and look for more situations that I can talk about. Hmm. And like this is just your friend's fault. Like just tell him, be like, can you laser me? Like here, like this is not like a mix up you will ever be playing against Mango.
Yeah.
I think more short hop drill.
Okay.
Drill is really OP against Falco. You can actually like drill, shine, drill a lot of times, like on his shield and stuff, and he kind of struggles against that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely no offense to compadre Moncho, but like I feel like he's not particularly giving you great situations to practice. For like the level you're at. Like if you were like way worse, I'd be like, yeah, sure, but like
that's a problem because like it's probably the only one I'm gonna get for like 4 years.
That's why I think like literally just like make him watch my laser video and like force him to laser way more. And I think you'll end up with like way better practice. Wow.
Okay.
Man.
It's gonna be so ready for Westball.
Huh?
Gio said that in chat.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You would be extremely prepared for Westballs. What is going on? I feel like
Your Slippy's fucking up?
Yeah, like it froze.
That's strange.
Okay, here we go. Okay, one second, I gotta turn on my fan. It's getting hot. Okay.
I think it's the same game. Oh, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So, okay, let me think for a second. Let's see, what's the best direction to go from here? Because I feel like we're not gonna we're just gonna get a lot of these. Like I can watch like a ton of Slippies, and I'm just gonna get like, yeah, look at him go, and it's like I want to help you more than just like watching you up air combo this guy and like dash dance grab. So I'm trying to think. Like I want to explain the laser situation somewhat, and okay. Okay, do you have any questions about like being aggressive against lasers on like certain spots or like I'm trying to figure out like what's the best direction to go from, so I'm not just like I can just sit here and talk about lasers for like an hour, but like I want to try to get it as directed as possible towards like what you actually are already thinking about, you know?
I feel like whenever I try to attempt like take laser dash in stuff, I usually just get down aired, so I just stop doing it outright. Or like I would jump and get up tilt, and I was like, oh, or get like random shined. I feel like that's a tough one for me because I feel like whenever I just like do take laser dash in stuff, I either get like I try to gamble with like up smash, curve style, or fucking just like short off at them. And then I just get full comboed, and then I cry in my bed.
Okay, so the key is that it's definitely like a mix-up, right? It's not. There's no guaranteed answers. So let's say we got stage, and then let's say we'll keep it simple. So we'll start off with like Falco in the corner. Let's say kind of. So he's like here, and then you're like here, and he's shooting lasers at you. And I'm telling you, oh, like the aggressive mix-up is pretty good. So, and that's what we're going to talk about. So, first of all, we know that like if Falco does an approaching full drift aerial or a laser, we're kind of ready for that in our dash dance. Like, that's kind of like what we're doing sitting here. We're kind of like, hey, if you like try to get me, I'll either dash away or I'll like full hop and catch you. So we're creating a situation where like Falco already does not want to full approach. That's like the first thing we're gonna cover. And that's like the first thing Falco also covers against Fox. That's why in neutral they end up in that sort of campy zone-ish, even when they're kind of close to each other, because Falco it constantly has to cover Fox full approaching, and vice versa, where Fox is constantly worried about like approaching laser. Like that's like the first step is essentially like if you were playing like a million friendlies with people and you kind of kept getting better and like layering over time, you know. The very first step is you're like, well, I'm just gonna stalemate over and over until Falco approaching lasers or approaching aerials, and then I'll kill him for it. And so, like, once that is already established, there is this idea that, like, you are kind of preventing him from, like, directly jumping out of the corner. So the next thing is, like, okay, so you kind of have the full approach covered. The next thing is that he stays there, in which case you, like, dashing like in this range isn't really gonna put you in too much danger. In fact, you'll probably just win that one. So if he just kind of stays here and you dash in, you're kind of in a good spot. Like, let's say he shields or something and you dash in. You're in a good spot. So the only one that we really have to worry about is, like, this range, where he kind of, like, laser, and then he does, like, the fade back down air, like, right here. And so that's the range where, like, you need... It's just the other piece of the mix-up, where you're basically, like, Falco stay in place? Bad. Falco jump out of corner? Bad. So he's only really incentivized to do this one if he thinks you're coming in. And so it becomes like a... How do I describe it? I'm trying to, like, figure out the best way to describe, like, the mix-up here. Is that, like... You could keep him cornered forever, but you want to like basically the fact that you're both holding each other at bay creates like a pseudo stalemate where you're both kind of hanging out here, and then as the Fox, a lot of times I like to be a little bit more like active and try to like break it. So I will basically... You do this dash dance where you dash in here, and then you just dash back to right here. And then if they do the fade back, then you get the free punish on this. Like, you just do dash in, dash back, and they do this fade back drill, and then you just dare it or something like that. Like, like drill up tilt or something like that. Yeah, and then what that does is when you do this dash dance to bait that drill, or sorry, to bait that like aerial or whatever, then that opens up the full approach out of the corner for them again. Because the full approaching laser out of the corner into a shine or something will hit this dash dance. But the full approach is committal, and so they have more of an incentive to do like the non-committal one than the committal one, unless they're scared, and then maybe they're more likely to do the big commitment. And so that's kind of how you play the mix-up, is like, oh, if the Falco's like comfortable, then when I come in, they're probably going to try to like do this to hit me out of it, or like, honestly, this could happen anywhere. It can be like the stage can keep going here, but like, essentially, you're creating a position where Falco doesn't want to full reach out, and then pressuring in the range where he can only hit you by full reaching out. And then that is what beats this like fade back dare hitting the dash in, is like waiting in the range where the approaching laser will actually hit you. It's kind of like the Marth thing, actually. This is actually a perfect thing. Where it's like, if you spend too much time in the middle range, then he'll eventually like dash attack you or something like that. And so it's kind of like at the long range, you're totally safe. And then you get to this mid range where it's like you can put a lot of pressure on him. And if he just... And like, they're not just going to be... For instance, Marth isn't going to just be dash attacking around the stage everywhere because it's too committal. And so, like, as long as you don't stay in the middle range long enough for them to fully recognize it, they would have to call it out with like a big read to do this like full drift out of the corner thing. And that's why you can pressure and beat this one. Does that make sense? I did my best to like kind of like break it down.
It kind of feels like the peak actually, where you just like set up the position and then you like you either like create more space or not.
It's
like it's a reverse one.
It's like that, except he can catch you going away with the with approaching laser, which is why it's more like Marth, because Peach can't really. Like, Peach can only push you back slightly more, but Falco can actually reach out and get you here if you wait in this zone too long. So, like, a common situation would probably be something like you wait in this space for a second, and you want Falco to do the short non-committal one, but then he doesn't do the short non-committal one for a second, like he's actually just kind of chilling in the corner. But he's been chilling in the corner long enough now that you both realize it, so you feel like he's kind of ready for the instant approach. And then maybe you just dash back there at the same moment he approaching lasers, and it just resets to like a center stage neutral or like something like that. But like you had a chance there to punish his options. So it's basically like you can play ultra safe if you want and let him just like, you know, hit his own face on your stuff. Or you can play a little bit more mix-up heavy in a way that like in a way that he can only beat it with a hard read, essentially.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
And so, like, and that's also why I think Wave Dash in is not super good. Like, people do a lot of, like, shield laser Wave Dash in, you know? And I think that's pretty weak because you don't have the other dash options out of shield. And so Falco can kind of know that you're not... that if you move forward out of a shield, that you're not baiting the fade back aerial, which is why he can just do the fade back anytime you shield Wave Dash in.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of like, huh?
I dropped my wallet in the game.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking around for it. I also think that like, so Falco's goal when getting comboed is actually to go off stage. Like, if Fox hits you with like an up air combo, your goal as Falco is to get off stage as far as possible, as fast as possible, and then just like play the recovery mix up. Because if you stay on stage, Fox is just going to keep comboing you. So like, I personally don't think that like comboing Falco in an attempt to like, oh, I'll combo Falco to the edge, I just need to get him off stage. Like, I see it as almost like the opposite of Fox, where like, whereas like against Fox, the edge guard is so flowcharty that like I'm kind of just down to get him off stage whenever. Whereas like putting Falco off stage when I could have gotten like a more solid combo doesn't seem quite as valuable.
Yeah.
Just because he has the side B and he has the side B. And he's also got the side B. And that other side B.
And the fastballs.
Yeah. So it's like just what you were saying, like you try to get him off stage and give him, like, I think it's like a lot better to just be like up smash, tech chase on platform, up air, up air. Like, I would rather up air Falco to 90 and have him way up here than have him like here at 30. You know?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Let's see. And yeah, if they do like some sort of like up tilt, like you were saying, the up tilt on Fox's full hop is always a 50-50. There's no way for Falco to do the up tilt in a way that covers both fast fall and non-fast fall aerial out of the full hop.
Okay.
So, like, as the Falco, most of the time, they're just going to be stalemating there when you do the full hop aerial. But the problem is like, this is what I do, is like, I let Fox do like a full hop drill or full hop nair, and he can just do whatever he wants, and I just roll away. And I play neutral again, and he does it again, and I roll away. and I'll let them do it like 10 times. And then like the 11th time, like no fox is mixing up their fastfall on the 11th time because the first 10 times they just full hopped and you rolled and gave it to them for free. Like you gave them like the stalemate for free. And so like when you're doing the full hop and the Falco up tilts you, just remember that means they read full hop versus non-full hop, or sorry, fast fall versus non-fast fall full hop aerial. And like that basically just is like a good indication that, oh, they have a read on the fast fall, so then the next full hop you do, maybe you do like the opposite of what you were doing. Usually it's the no fast fall is the mix up because the fast fall is typically like better like in just normal play because it's faster. But if you keep in mind like the mix-ups between the fastball and no fastball, the up tilt read becomes like significantly less dangerous. It's only really useful when Falco knows what your timing is going to be, or they just ultra hard read you, in which case you can't really stop it anyway.
Okay.
Let's see. I wish there were more useful VODs. Have you tried being born American?
I mean, it's kind of tough, you know?
What else can I talk about? He's just not shooting any lasers. I just want to talk about the lasers.
I think there are like some HP Falco slippies on those I sent you. I think he shot a bit more, but I'm not sure.
Which one? Which slippy?
I feel like the last ones. I'm not sure though.
Okay, let me try that one.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, that was hard.
Okay.
HP Falco.
Oh, nice.
I had to revive him to play.
That's funny.
Yeah. He doesn't play it in like a year.
Like, yeah, you just go on like these journeys to like the mountaintop, like, play me.
He's just like getting goated at CS now or whatever he's doing. As he tends to do.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. When you're practicing against people way better than you, you should. Or sorry, when you're practicing against people you're way better than, you should literally just let them laser. Like, let them shoot the first laser and then play the mix-up. Because you need to practice the laser situation. Like, you just keep... He's just like, should I laser yet? Okay, I'll try one. And you're just like, I'm already on top of you. Haha. But, like, you're just not learning anything from that.
Okay.
Okay, but here we are. We're learning something. And, okay, so this is decent. But I also think that, like, full hop nairing... Like, take laser, full hop nair... is a good option, but it is a you give Falco control, right? Where you're kind of like where you do this full hop nair and like because I've done a lot of full hop nairs here, you know, and the way it happens is you take laser and you're like, this is kind of a funny full hop nair. I bet they're not ready for this one. And, like, that's as far as that thought process goes from, like, the Fox end. Like, there's not a lot you can do because you're, like, you have to commit to the full hop nair so early. Like, yeah, maybe you can mix up your drift or your fast fall, like, a little bit. But, like, in general, you're committing... Like, you're not starting the... Like, you're not doing, like, a late nair here, you know? Like, when Fox is doing these nairs, you're doing this one where it's, like, a big commitment. And... So once again, not bad, especially at this percent, but I want you to like focus on winning the grounded mix-ups. I think the number one thing that I currently am not seeing is shield mix-ups into shine out of shield and then punishing out of it. So like trying to like get as close in on Falco as possible and like pressure them into doing like bad early down airs, I think is really good like on your shield. I also think, like, take laser turnaround up tilt in certain situations. Like, the take laser turnaround up tilt is something that you don't want to do too much, because against the really good Falcos, they, like, kind of abuse it. But if you mix it up with take laser dash in up smash, it's pretty good because they usually just do that little dash dance to avoid the up tilt, and then you can do like the dash and up smash there. It's kind of like a mix. The idea is that like this is probably the only matchup in the game where Fox can't just win by being better. Like even against Marth, where it's like kind of a tougher matchup, you still feel like you're kind of like abusing him a lot of times. Like you're like, oh, you're too slow or this or that. And I think that like you need to be a little bit more down to embrace the chaos and then like not embrace the chaos, but embrace what you're seeing as the chaos and turn it into non-chaos. Like get a lot better at these like little scrambles and like getting your shield out when you're up close, or like barely dodging the fade back aerial and you're dashing and getting a drill and stuff like that, or like take the laser into up tilt as like a mix up, because it's like taking the laser into turnaround up tilt is not the normal Fox like, oh, I full hop and if you come in I hit you and if you don't I'm safe. Like I think as Fox players get really comfortable kind of being able to play that situation, but it sometimes can hold you back from like playing the more like active situations where like essentially what I'm saying is you got to get more comfortable with situations that have a risk to them, sometimes even a high risk, and being comfortable that like your choice based on the context of the neutral and everything that's going on will have like a higher value than theirs. So like rather than trying to play these situations of like I either win or I lose every time if they do these certain things, being a little bit more down to be like, well, most of the time at this type of laser spacing, I can kind of like do this sort of, you know, dash in or shield or dash back and then take another laser and dash in drill or something like that to kind of like I just want you to explore more of the close-in options that you can, more of the close-in, like, quick, non-committal options that you can be doing. Just because, like, these full hops are, like, all you're doing is full hop naring and then you react to what happens. Versus, like, seeing a situation created, recognizing, like, what is Falco seeing out of this position? And therefore, like, what will Falco... Not this one on the screen, but, like, what is Falco seeing out of this laser position or this dash dance position? And, like, what makes sense from the Falco end to do there? And then making, like, a counter choice to that, even if you're, like, risking stuff. And so, like, essentially this opens you up to losing to Falco a lot more, because you're sort of playing a lot more like coin flip, or like not coin flip but like weighted coin flip, or like you have like a read on top of it. And then so eventually what that becomes is it becomes like, if I like you're playing some Falco and you're like, okay, if I played this way where I took every single weighted coin flip, maybe I win game 5 2 stocks or something like that. And then you're like, okay, but like maybe I only win 2 out of 3 times. Like it's like, because it's going game 5, like it's kind of like a slobber knocker and you're kind of like hitting each other back and forth a lot, and you end up winning the majority of the time, but it's still too chaotic. Then you start working in those like, well, normally I would scramble here, but now I'm going to do a stalemate and see what you do. And then using that, you can take your like mostly consistent win that has a little bit of inconsistency and turn it into like a 95% chance win or something like that. So it's like the things that make it guaranteed end up making you weaker against good Falcos. And so you want to focus on the stuff that's not guaranteed and then work in the guaranteed stuff to kind of like you pepper it in as like, you never would have thought I would full hop stalemate here. You know, whereas like if you're the guy who full hop stalemates there, the Falco doesn't have to worry about the scramble in the same way, and it makes his life a lot easier. That's so funny. Where do they live that there are no Falcos? It's like, yeah, I hate to break it to you, they've got nothing there. Unless you want to get really good against Luigi.
So true, dude.
Yeah, if you want to get good against Luigi, dude, we have a place for you.
Give every Mario a mid-tier.
Yeah.
Dude, Twitch chat would love being down here.
Twitch chat was what?
Would love being down here.
Yeah.
Just seeing every fucking weird character and no fucking spacies.
Okay, what happened?
They get like their Fox videos and then they get their Fox Luigi.
Okay, so this is actually another thing. I think we found something we can actually talk about here. Is that this is the wrong edge of the platform to be on. This is the scary edge.
Okay.
Like this, like when on Stadium, Falco being in this position is like he's scared of this, not this. This is too passive. And also, something sort of like a mantra I have in this matchup is to never stay in one vertical plane for too long. Like
Yeah,
like
a vector.
Yeah, like don't stay like right here for too long. Like you want to make sure that like you're moving. Like if you're here, then go here, then go here, 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 here. Like you need to be changing positions a lot because Falco is like heavily kind of like setup based, you know? Mm-hmm. So like I wouldn't think of it exactly like against ICs, but it's kind of like that where like you want to change the position a lot to prevent them from getting like a nice clean setup where like the ICs, if you stay in one spot for too long, then they have Nana Blizzard the spot, and then like they're doing all kinds of stuff to that position. So like by staying in this spot, it's just causing like Falco to have a little bit of an easier time. Oh, this is actually okay. So this is perfect. Is that like what you can do here? This is kind of that mix-up I was talking about, where you're like standing at this range. And this is the range that gets hit by, like, the full approach.
Yeah.
And you kind of chill here for a second. And they do kind of this, like, nair thing. Like, curse you, HP. No, just kidding. but I think that, like, if you had... Like, for example, like, in this position, I want you to recognize... that when like, you dash dance here, that the Falco is seeing, like, from the Falco's perspective, you're just standing in place, and so they're like gonna come up with some kind of idea to beat you being here, because you were there for too long.
And then the undershoot, like, that there you explained to me, like, earlier is gonna happen, and then I just do
or they read that you're doing that dash dance. Like, what I'm saying is that the most dangerous case is they're reading that you're doing that dash dance, and then they just, like, overshoot down air or something like that.
Okay.
Or overshoot laser. But, like, the important thing from your end is recognizing what the Falco is going to see in that position.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say something else, too.
That's weird.
Nice.
L&D. Hey.
Okay. Okay, what I want, and I think this is what you should be practicing, and it's kind of ties into everything else that I've been saying, is what I want to see is I want to see you hitting Falco, but knowing why. Because I feel like right now, you're hitting Falco because you can. Like, you're hitting him because you're like, maybe he'll be kind of hit by this. Whereas, like, what I want to, like, I want to see, like, okay, so you know what you're doing with the defensive play, where you create a position and you see that it looks good to approach it, and then you'll full hop or something to catch their approach. I want to see that same thing when you're up close. So when you're in, like, a position like this, where Falco is shielding right here, I want you to, like, think about what does Falco want and essentially like not whiff punish, but like this up smash isn't based on what Falco is doing. It's just based on a read, on like a timing read that he'll do something at a certain time. And I think the timing read aspect is good, but you need to like think, like imagine if you had like right here you did like dash back and then you did like running in shield and you just like sliding shielded in. Like there's a way bigger chance he'll do like a down air or something and just give you the free shield grab. So what I want is for you to, like, creating those sort of, like, freebie bait openings like you do on the defense where you're waiting for him to jump in can also be created here where you, like, create a situation where he does something that you can punish. But I need to see that in, like, the up-close and personal situations and not just the, like, I'm out of his range situations.
Okay.
Like, I think this is good. Like, this is, like, a good example. Like, you get close, and you do that, you know? And this is what I don't want to see just while you're practicing this. Just while you're practicing this, like, I don't want to see you, like, roll here. I want to see you, like, hold shield, like, hold shield, and then, like, what is he gonna do? Like, Falco doesn't really have, like, that much good stuff off of grab, right? So, like, he's not super incentivized to grab. He's probably gonna do something on your shield. Or he's gonna like wait there for a split sec, and then like you end up in that whole dash dance situation we talked about in like MS Paint.
Yeah.
I just want to see you playing those out more, instead of like either perfect safety or like random gamble.
Okay. I'm so bad at shine grabbing. That entire pressure spring was me trying to shine grab.
Wait, really? That's so funny.
Yeah. That was.
And then you finally got it.
Yeah, he rolled.
Just as a note, I mentioned it before, shield wave dash in is not very good against Falco. Because you just get hit by it. If he had down it there, you would have gotten hit by it. Yeah, I think specifically winning the close-up situations with things that aren't full hop.
Okay.
Like I want to see you get dash and shield a lot more. That's a big one. I want to see you do like short hop drill. I want to see way more short hop drill. Like short hop drill is like low key the strongest move against Falco. Like it's really up there with how good it is. It's like, so like, okay, for instance, like right here, what is preventing you from going in with a short hop drill right here? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and if you think, oh, when I try to go in with my short hop drill, I'll be too late, so maybe they'll shine down air again or something, then maybe you act like you're going to go in, and you either shield or you do the dash dance, and then you go in with the short hop drill or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see you like participating in those mix-ups a little bit more. And yeah, when you end up in this spot, this is like a rare spot where like you're stuck on every option. But what about holding shield for longer? I just don't really see you do that.
Yeah, you're right. I never do that.
Like if you just kept holding it, like he would have just hit your shield, gotten wave shined out of shield, and he might be dead.
Yeah, that's right.
You're just like, wait. You can defend and then defend?
That's great.
And I think it's just like, I think that's the thing in Melee, is I feel like everything is contradictory, and that's what makes part of the game so hard, is that it's like, well, you want to stay dynamic and moving to make use of your speed, and it's like, right, of course, and then it's like, well, why didn't you just stay in place in the most passive defensive position possible? And you're like, you just told me to, like, move around. But I think, like, if you're gonna stay in place against Falco, holding shield is good if you're close enough. if you're holding shield at a range where he can like pressure you with laser really comfortably from like outside of your range, that's not very good. But I think like if you're shielding in a range where he is worried that if he does a short hop laser, that you might just like short hop back air or nair or down air or something out of shield or up smash out of shield, then like that is like a much better position to end up like holding shield in.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, you know, like a lot of times Sheik hits your shield with like an aerial and then does like jab, jab, and if you just hold shield through both of those, then you get like the freebie grab or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of like that, except imagine if Sheik got no reward off grab. Like,
it's crazy.
Right, like she's already very, like, even though, like, at like 90, she doesn't get that much off grab, right? And so she's a lot more incentivized to do those like hit on shield. And Falco is just basically incentivized to do that type of pressure all the time. And so, like, what I want you to do is, like, hold shield, and then it's like, okay, and this is, like, the big mix-up on hold shield, is, like, do they do aerial shine short hop, late aerial? Or do they do aerial shine, short hop, late aerial? You know, like, the shine versus the double shine, and, like, that's, like, the main mix-up is, like, are they gonna double shine or not? And I think, like, I think just playing that mix-up is really useful. Like, I think you'd get a lot of value out of just letting them hit your shield and being like, are you gonna single shine? Like, single shine early aerial, single shine late aerial, or double shine? Like, just get experience with all of those and know that, like, if you just keep holding shield, the worst thing they can do is grab you unless your shield is already really small and then you might get poked. But, like... Mm-hmm. I just want you to see you sitting there and then, like, take 3 hits on shield and then wave dash out and shine or something like that, you know? Because I think right now, like I was saying kind of earlier, is like the issue is not that you're doing things badly, it's that you're not doing enough things.
Okay.
Like, you just need to do more of the options against Falco so that, like... you can build like a more complete style. Because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to come back to the US the next time, you're going to play like my Falco, or you're going to play like Magi or something, and you're just going to spend your whole time here being like, oh yeah, that's an option against Falco. Oh yeah, that's an option. And what I want you to do is I want you to have all of these options and just have them like somewhat underdeveloped just from like experience's sake, you know? Like, you haven't gotten to practice them against the good players, but you know what they are. And then you can just show up, try them a bunch of times for like a week, you know, and then have those experiences like nailed down. Like, you won't have to like build new patterns, you'll just be cleaning up your patterns. I think that's probably like the most effective direction. Yeah, look at this right here, look at that. You just hold shield an extra step right here, and he up tilts, and you can short hop drill out of this, by the way.
Okay.
That's
I try to like marry his head.
Yeah.
That happens.
No, I need to see way more hold shield. I need to see way more short hop drill. And I need to see way more dash in out of laser, and like dash in shield in general. Those are all the biggest points so far.
Okay.
Short hop off what? Short hop off shine? Like right here. You have to just dash dance.
Oh.
Or full dash dance full hop off shine. That's fine too.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to play this, because if he went right here, he would have dodged it.
I always forget about like,
and then fast fall to here. You gotta do that shine. Like, yeah, and it's funny because we already mentioned it, but you're so good at, like, you're like, Falco, come practice with me, and they're like, okay, and they try to shoot a laser, and you're like, you idiot, I already moved around that laser. Your laser basically did nothing, and it was worthless, and now I just get to fight you laserless because you can't catch me with your lasers. And you just, like, move around the good practice. Like you're just like dodging it, like whoop, nope, kind of gonna sidestep that good practice, and then I'll just hit him, and then I'll throw him off stage and hit him. And I just can't get good Falco practice. Good recovery though. That's a tough one for Falco on this stage.
I'm gonna miss it. Oh, I did. Sit.
Okay, nice.
Aww.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore that one.
That's all good.
Also, you should get in the habit of respecting Falco off the ledge, even if these guys can't do the perfect ledge dash.
Yeah, they're so allergic to ledge dashing. It's tough.
The what's up?
They're so allergic to ledge dashing. It's tough.
Yeah. It is an extremely weird habit, or like not a habit, but like I definitely like. It's just really funny. Like I've just played so many people that are doing like really bad ledge dashes, like clearly vulnerable ledge dashes, and I just let them back every time. And I'm just like, because I'm just like, well, what if you were good, you know? Like, because I don't know. Like I've noticed that like a lot of Sheiks in SoCal can't ledge dash with Sheik, so I just back air that, you know, and then I'm playing people with my Sheik and I can't ledge dash right, and they're just back airing me, and it's like we all just live in our like happy party world where like we just back air the ledge dash, and then like you play Spark and you just die.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know. It's unfortunate how that melee works like that sometimes.
It's really funny that I beat Spark by F smashing one of the slash dashes. I even charged it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, okay, but imagine how he feels knowing that you should have died for that, you know? Like, that's so funny, though. So funny. You're like, now you mention it. I just beat him by, like, ignoring all the good parts of the game.
I remember, like, game 2, I did, like, the shittiest ledge dash, and I just air dodged through his grab and killed him.
Was that,
Smash
World Tour? Yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary tournament.
So good.
Definitely like my top 3 of all time.
The IHOP moment.
Yeah, the IHOP was amazing. Okay, another one is so obviously power shielding lasers is fine. But I want you to like not shield as many lasers just in general. I feel like you're kind of like you shield them a pretty good amount. And it's strictly because, like, well, the reason I want you to do less of it is because shielding prevents you from having to dash out of the laser.
Okay.
And I would rather you take the laser and dash out of it. You've seen my whole thing where, like, I know, like, I'm sure you've seen it, where, like, the range at which Fox can dash back after getting lasered in place by Falco and not get down aired.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Where it's, like, literally, like, right here, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if he lasers you,
yeah,
like, you can just dash away and not be hit by the down air. And so I think, like, just really practicing that is, like, the best thing you can do from that angle. It is really interesting. It's, like, you're definitely playing the game on one of the hardest settings possible. Just because...
the hardest one.
Yeah. Hey, I mean...
No, actually...
I was about to say...
It's still right on.
No, I was literally about to say that. Like, yeah, like, one of the hardest.
Yeah.
That Antarctica scene, too.
To be fair, he gets EU net play on the 110 ping, so...
You're like, I wish I was privileged like that.
You don't know the terrors of pulling Morse code on 170 ping, dude.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like so many of our lessons are me, like, trying to tell you how to, like, play weird to hopefully get better experience. Whereas, like, most people, they're just like, I'm losing to this guy. And then I just help them beat that person, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, it's just like a totally different, like, process you have to go through, where it's like, how can I get it reminds me of when I gave Josh Man a lesson when he was still, like, living in Australia.
Mm-hmm. This is like, each time I get a lesson, it's like the Play-Doh thing. You're just showing me the light.
That's super funny. Okay, let's see.
Oh, so lazy. Oh.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that like I don't know. You're just like, who are you? Like I can just beat you up with like whatever. It's like, oh, that was good
Wow,
though.
it's so good.
Yeah, that was actually like unreal good. That was like a mango wave dash out of shield.
Yeah, I remember like listening to you saying like, yeah, let's just lose it to like Way the Shadow Shield back here, like a nair you did at Way Dash. I don't know why I got like I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mango does this. When I was like washing dishes and watching a lesson.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know the exact back here, like that mango does.
Yeah. I think you cross them up with like a nair or something.
Okay, yeah, this is like another example of like you don't need practice doing this. You just need practice dashing out of this.
Alright, time to take
I like that one. Okay, this is another one. This is good. This dash and shield was good. Just hold it. Like,
yeah.
he's gonna do some sort of sequence of downers and shines, and you just need to, like, what you can do is maybe, like, you just shield 4 hits, and then you wave dash back. You know, and you just get out, and then the next time, when he hits your shield, like, a little bit later, you try to see if he does, like, the same pattern and punish it on the same timing or something like that.
Okay.
But just holding the shield, really, really useful. And, like, yeah, like, right here, too, is, like, I feel like this could have been a take laser, dash, and JC shine, and you would have been able to practice that situation a little bit better. So I just think, like, maybe stop shielding them quite so much.
No, I was too late.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Oh, I like that a lot. Short hop.
What did I try to do?
Nice.
Oh, wow, so good.
Yeah, that was really good. Man, sometimes you're pretty good.
I know, right? Just playing handicap.
Yeah.
I did the thing of like little dash back, waiting for the situation.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that
I was noticing this. I think that was
Okay.
that was pretty good.
Oh, it's a Falcon filler.
Hmm.
Some guy in chat said legalize immigration. Oh, did it again.
And like the up smash is good, but basically the up smash is there once you already perfectly understand the position.
Yeah.
And so, like, once you already fully understand the position and everything about it, and you already know that your, like, drill is gonna hit or something, you're like, I have judged that, like, rather than the drill here, I think the up smash is better right now. But, you gotta be careful at the point you're at, using up smash, because it's like, you just let it rip, and then you see what happens, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Falcon thing, where you just like kind of let it rip, but just gotta know the nuance.
Yeah, like, it's better to understand the situation, and then you can let it rip later. And obviously that one was fine, because that was, like, a whiff punish. But yeah, like, there's no reason where you're at right now to be shielding this laser. Like, I don't want you, I don't want you to be shielding those. Just take it, and, like, literally play the grounded mix-up.
Okay.
Nice. Oh. Sheesh. I probably would have missed that one. That was good.
That was so easy.
Like, the back air was really clean there.
Yeah.
There's just so many games, and every game is just you messing them up.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I'm like so tired of losing like every Falco whenever I travel. It's like,
Yeah, and
so
Falco's
painful.
one of the characters that prays the most on, like, lack of matchup experience for Fox. It's so rough as Fox if you don't. Yeah, and you know this is the same stuff of like
just
dash out of this,
game.
don't shield this. Like imagine if instead of this, like
How do I
imagine
break the wall if like take it instead of shielding it, like here?
what was the thing you said? I missed the first
Like
part of
how
it.
to like close up space like without like shielding here. I feel like that's a big trouble for me.
Well, like shielding's, you can just dash into this laser.
Oh.
Like if you dash into this laser, it'll hit you here. He can't downer you from here because you could dash back. So there's a mix-up.
Oh, okay.
like that's the thing is like it's like I feel like you're giving up some of like the dynamic movement by going for so many of those shields, and it feels like you feel like you need to shield the like you need to shield the laser or you're at too much of like a frame disadvantage or something. But like Fox is so fast that those few frames aren't that relevant. Like it's much better to have access to your dash than I think it's 4 frames. It's been a while since I watched my own video. I think shielding is 4 frames faster than taking the laser.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 frames, yeah.
Yeah. Like 7 versus 11 or something like that.
I thought it was like 9 on 5 or something. It's around there.
Yeah, I think it's 4 frames regardless. And so I think that like those 4 frames aren't the most relevant unless he literally lasers you like right in your face, you know? Like if he's right on top of you, then like yeah, and honestly even a lot of times if he's right on you and he lasers you, you can still get a shield out like just by holding shield out of the laser.
And then I'd play like mix up of like taking 10 hits and then rolling away after and then seeing the pattern next interaction. I guess I just shine out a shield if I like understand like what the pressure he's doing.
Yeah, like
if it shines like lay or whatever.
Yeah, like
or like even like up smash.
Yeah, like once you understand once you have a read on once you have a read on his pressure sequence, then you can kind of pressure it however because you kind of understand like the timing or whatever. And once you just start like doing it over and over, you can kind of get after your practice partner of like, you know, telling him to switch it up. Like sometimes you need a double shine here, you need a late aerial here or whatever. You just want to kind of get access to like you just want to play Mango, and then when he does his shield pressure sequence, you can be like, it's that one, rather than like he's just doing some kind of craziness on my shield, which is like what'll kind of inevitably happen if you played him like right now. You'd be like, what is he doing on my shield? And you would try to shine out a shield, and you would just get hit for it because he would be like doing better pressure.
That's so funny. That's so relatable.
That's what I'm trying to fix.
Yeah. Happens so much.
I also think playing more Falco against Fox could help if you're like desperate.
Okay. I could go on a Falco era.
I feel like mostly just getting good at lasers, like understanding the lasers. Because I remember the way I would play Fox against Falco for a long time was just like, yeah, he's doing those lasers, I'm going to move around him. And like, or like, I'm taking him and then I'll just play neutral out of it. And I just remember constantly I would just get hit by some weird approaching laser. And I'd be like, I don't know, he got me, I guess. Like, I would literally experience that. Like, when I would get hit by, like, a laser mix-up. I'd be like, oh, where did that laser come from? I thought he was going to aerial, you know?
Dude, I have that vibe so fucking much whenever I travel.
Yeah, no, that's, like, literally, like, what it is. And I feel like that's how it is for, like, every Fox main on the planet who doesn't play Falco. Even, like, me, dude, I used to give all these lessons and stuff, and, like, before I ever played Falco, and, like, I had a good understanding, but only through that lens of, like, Falco's doing stuff, you're Fox, rather than, like, I think it's that when you play Falco, you realize how specific every solution is. Like, you realize that you had to do this exact laser, and this exact aerial, and this exact timing, and this exact spacing, or else it all falls apart. And I think that helps a lot, that knowledge helps a lot from the Fox end, because, like, you kind of get a sense that Falco does sort of have to do certain things, and you'll see when he randomly does an approaching laser on you and gets the shine, you'll understand, like, I see, I was spending too much time in the mid-range, and he read me with the approaching laser, like, I should probably, like, make it look more like I'm going to punish the approaching laser in that position to like incentivize them to not do that there next time or something. And those are just like thoughts I never used to have before I played Falco. Or like understanding which range Falco is at where the laser in place is a call out but the retreating laser is safe and stuff like that. So I think like, I don't know, that's kind of like the best I got. Like I think the stuff I mentioned is relevant. and I think like all the different like patterns, like the shielding and all that stuff, I think that is all really good to do, and I think that'll help you move forward. And then I
Yeah.
think like if you go through all of that and you're still feeling like kind of you want more, then I would say kind of go on like a Falco journey, like watch a bunch of VODs from like Falcos against Fox and stuff, and just see like how it feels from the Falco end, and that's probably your best shot.
Yeah, I'm kind of down to getting a new unranked main. Oh, it would be fun. I feel like it gave me a lot of life, like talking to this. I can
Mhm.
see in the Plato's cave.
Let's go. No, I feel like this ended up pretty good. Like it started out with me like, how am I gonna analyze this? But
Yeah.
we ended up with a bunch of good actionable things, and then like potential future thing with like doing Falco or whatever. So
Mhm.
it
I
was
feel
good.
like all
Uh,
the new ones I'm missing is like super concrete, so it's pretty easy for me to like sit down and watch like Mango playing Ginger and like Slippy Champions League or whatever, and see
mm-hmm.
him like dash through and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh,
Definitely. No, I think it's just tough. Like I think it's just like I think it's a tough situation, but I think you're making the best of it. And I think like I do think that you need to get a little bit better in general at
mhm.
like playing in a way to train yourself against a worse partner. Like I know you've had a lot of experience doing that, but I'm still not seeing like you need to be shadowboxing Mango while you're playing this guy.
It's so funny because like I have to take like 40-minute like trips to like college, and I will just sit down in my mind and playing like random sets versus everyone on my mind. And then I just like do something crazy in my mind. I was like, oh shit, this is so good. And then I do.
Yeah, no, and that's your talent. Like that's
Yeah,
that's like that's your talent showing. Like we all know you've got it.
true.
So I'm sure you'll eventually show up here as a monster and
Really
beat
quick.
up everybody. So we're just trying to get you as prepped as possible so that like when that day comes, you have the least work to do possible to get to the top from that point. Like once you're
I'm
done with
so ready to not
school and
lose to
everything.
Falco.
Yeah, no, I'm rooting for you to beat Falcos too.
Dude, my fucking win rate versus every Falco is like 110.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a lot. That's how a lot of foxes are. It's not an easy matchup. I think it works the opposite way to a lot of other fox matchups, and I think that also makes it tricky. Like if you
Yeah,
just
just,
grind the Ditto a ton, you're just
mhm.
gonna play in the range that always gets hit by approaching laser against Falco,
True.
and that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, but anyway, keep it up. Like the punish is looking good. A lot of the stuff you're doing is looking really good. Mostly just need to focus on playing the situations you haven't been playing as much. And other than
Yeah.
that, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Alright.
All right,
Sick.
sounds good. I will talk to you later. Have a good one.
Alright. See ya.
Peace.
It was fun. Peace.
For sure. Peace.